something off with this game. I can't put my finger on it right now. Can't put my finger on what's there's something really weird with this game. Like I was letting against people that actually give me a challenge, and that doesn't normally happen at all.
Has been slain. has been destroyed. Destroyed a turret.
Yo, don't go deep. Freaking it. Like where'd that guy come from, man? One knows you can't say no hacks, dude. Yeah, my controls aren't working. Like, I'm pushing buttons and stuff, and stuff's not going off. That's a sign of the ability deny hack. Watch. Well, I'll try and show you an example of the attack on cursor bug going on. We've established a couple clues that these guys are loser on purpose people. Number one, our enemy team was insanely good. This is supposed to be round silver Elo, and they're playing around freaking like high diamond, so mid diamond, high diamond, something like that, right? What's the two? So we'll just go with that, I guess. Another clue is I think they're hacking, and all of a sudden Ez's like, no, they're not hacking. It's like, why do you know they're not hacking? It's like saying like, hey, I think that guy down the road, I think he might have he might have like ran a red light. No, he didn't run a red light. Like, well, you weren't down the road. You're just randomly defending the guy you don't know anything about. Like, there's no reason to randomly defend things if you know nothing about them, right? That's just silly. So for as the want to defend the hackers, no, they were not hacking. Like that's silly, right? And then what else we got going on? Oh, hold on, this is gonna be a rough one to listen to. I don't know how to give you this. I don't know how to give you this.
An ally has been slain.
Oh, we can't get that, man. They lost all the objectives. That's what these guys lose all the objectives. There's a bunch of clues, and when I what is it? Figured it out, like they team tandem. Ooh, you're crazy. I said, well, you got nothing else, man. To laugh and say crazy. Like it says when the Bible says when a case is brought against a fool, they have nothing better to do than say to laugh and become belligerent. So they had nothing. They had no way of defending themselves. They're just like, don't know what you're talking about. That's weird. You know, it's like, no, dude, like, you guys are cheating. Like, I was wondering why a couple of my abilities weren't going off and stuff. I'm like, you know, I think they're running the lag hack, the ability hack, and they are. And I'm like, I'm trying to figure out a good example. I'm gonna get attack on cursor going. Yeah. That's why they kept hammering after Gangplank, because the only person who was actually playing.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Shut down. Enemy rampage. Your turret has been destroyed. Your team has destroyed a turret. Enemy double kill.
That's a 7-kill Vagar. I don't know where that, man. I'm just gonna concede that thing, cause like 7-kill Vagar. builders are still not going off. Oh, there's a one right in there. He does a good thing. That's what that's good. Now they're gonna suddenly do good as I called them out. I love it. Like it's what is it called? There's a word for it. Do I want to get this? Do I want to get this or that? Yeah, this is a better item actually. But yeah, they always do that thing. So we'll go back to the thing. So when you call them out, they start doing well. It's all of a sudden you got an objective. Wow, I got no objectives. Call me out for no objectives. You get objectives. It's reverse psychology. They don't want to be. They don't want their accounts banned. They don't want to lose money. So they start doing good. But basically, there's no reason Ez should have even said. Okay, we'll count the thing. There's no reason Ez should even said that like they're not hackers. So that's one. Number two, our enemy laners were actually like absurdly good for like bronze level, which is about what the healer should be. They're not even resembling bronze. They're like high plat or like low. Alright, there goes Ez and there. Ez and Ren just ended. We gotta give him Baron, no? Gotta give him Baron. There's no way I can fight that girl. Just resilient kills. I'll have to go with the inhibitor actually probably.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
So, like I said, he tried to defend them from not hacking. M18 is actually better than bronze. He walked into like despite all my warning pings, he walked into 1v3. I pinged him like maybe 15 times. And then he went to 1v3. Oh, you know what, I'll go into it anyway. And then he started like just split pushing, just running it down bot. So he went into like hyper int mode even after that, right? Anything stronger than that? No, I don't see myself winning this, so I'm just gonna get speed. try to take out some words. So he ended like 3 times after he ended one time after he defended that they're not hacking. After we saw that they were better than like bronzies, you know. So and then my abilities aren't going off. And then our jungle gets no objectives. They're 100% confirmed. 100% confirmed losing on purpose hackers. It's like there's no. And then they went just before Baron came up. They just walked up, straight up, just walked up to him. Like I mean, Ezreal saw the guy got 1v4'd. He walked up to him anyway. You know, hey, why not? Looks fun. Wait, we can 5 it? Oh man, yeah, it's is that even playing? This wasn't even autoing.
Enemy double kill. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy is legendary. Defeat.
Win trade, jungle win trades. Jungle is jungle win trades. Oh. Alright. Alright. So win trade. Win trade and one or more hacking. Glad I started out the game with a normal instead of a thing. This guy at least. So let's go 100%. Kept inting despite, like, alright, there you go. That's the reports. Start out the game with, that was a very solid win trader. That's another one gives us up the evidence of, like, I got win traders in my game all the time. Only way to get rid of these is if you start banning these guys. They're trying to do this for money. So if you keep banning if Riot bans their accounts, which they're very afraid of, they start doing really well after I call them out. Like you see, I called them out. All of a sudden, they got we'll get our first objective. We got the Elder Dragon. But when they got the Elder Dragon, they took you know, the jungle and the ADC, you know, the people who are losing on purpose, and they just walked up 1v5 to make sure they're dead before Baron started. So they traded they got their they got the Elder Dragon in order to make it look like they're doing objectives, right? They did it right after I said, oh, they're losing on purpose, they're 100% win traders, blah, 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 they're hacking. These win trader people always, after I call them out, always start winning. I've seen a Swain that was 0-2 go like 15-2, like right after that, right? So like, this is their motor operandi. They don't want to get caught. I mean, apparently they must have skin in the game, you know? They must have something that they don't want to lose. Otherwise, they would just lose on purpose. Like they're not above. They're not so wealthy. Like, I'm trying to figure out the organization again. It's just kind of clues. Not so wealthy they can lose accounts left and right. When they lose accounts, they get banned. That impacts them to some degree, right? That impacts them to some degree. I'm not actually searching for a game right now. I'm just kind of like messing with the win traders. So like it impacts them to some degree that they would start winning winning for a little bit to make it look like they're not losing on purpose. That gives me information. Not nothing to really work with, but like the idea is I called it. I said these guys are gonna start. They'll get their first objective. They'll act like they're winning the game. And I said LOL because I was laughing. I know these guys like hardcore, right? Like if you know people who like that hate you so bad and harass you so bad they do the same damn thing every time. Then you think it's funny because like these guys are ridiculous, right? Like, and they did it. They went, oh, we got the Elder. Look, we're not losing on purpose. We got one objective out of the last like 6. You know, it's like okay, dude. It's like, and then of course after they get the Elder, you know, we might be able to get in here. Let's just spiral it into like a group fight at Baron. Maybe get Baron and end the game. You know, maybe we'll have a chance even to have you know, Hexstrike Soul, right? No. The very people who I called out, Rengar and Ezreal, went up and ended the Baron, right? And so, if you're called out for losing on purpose, getting just one objective, it doesn't fool anybody, man. Like, especially when you take the objective and just, like, you throw it away by inting, they trade it for another objective. Here, you can have our objective, you can take that one, you know. They get their Elder, they go up and get their Elder, because, like I said, it's like reverse psychology. Every time I call them out, they're suddenly going to do good. Oh, look, we're not playing bad. We're playing good all of a sudden. We're 0-10, and somehow we're getting kills. Yeah, because the other team's feeding you. Your friends on the other team are feeding you, and you're going to make it look like you're winning for a little bit. That they do it every time. Like, anytime they get called out, they'll start playing good all of a sudden. Like, 100% of the time. They don't even, like, change it up at all. Like, it's like, so like you should be unpredictable sometimes, you know? This and that and this and that, and then it wouldn't be predictable. But like, it's so predictable. If you watch the replay of this game, when I said now they're gonna start doing good or something, I said LOL. Like now they're gonna pretend like you're doing good, and then they did. They got an objective. Like I called it. Like I'm not like a fortune teller. I'm not a prophet. I'm not like I don't read the future. You know. I'm not a psychic. I just know these guys are losing on purpose all the time. They're very hateful people. I don't know why they hate me. Like I really don't. I mean, like they give clues in the past, and I don't. It's like I hope they don't represent the organization when they're very hateful. They come on my games and like they've hated me for a year and a half, which is really really persistent hate. I wonder if it's funded hate, like some sort of like thing because of politics or something. I don't know. I don't know why they hate so much, but I'm able to. I'm like the reason I'm bringing this up is like as the game goes on, I'm able to beat these guys. I probably have 5-man flex crew to them. I can bring some silvers into these guys and I'll take them out. They're not very good. They just have 2 people on my team lose on purpose. You could have Wayne Gretzky with a couple people on his team lose on purpose, you know, and Wayne Gretzky's not going to win versus 12-year-olds, you know. You say how many 12-year-olds did he take to beat Wayne Gretzky? Well, you know, you can figure out how many people are on a hockey team. Like see 6 versus 6, right? 6 versus 6 on a hockey team, right? And if you have one person trying to win, like one, that leaves 11 other ones just shooting on an empty net. You know, Wayne Gretzky can't beat like a bunch of 12-year-olds or 11-year-olds in that situation, right? Oh, Wayne Gretzky can't beat 12-year-olds. No, it's not bragging rights. It's like unplugging your brother's controller, right? You know, you unplug your brother's controller. Haha, I beat you in Street Fighter 2. Yeah, because I couldn't move and my controller was unplugged. I mean, like, that's not bragging rights. And that's what they're basically doing in this situation. I mean, like, quite literally, the lag hack in this game, there's a lag ability hack where I push buttons, I push my Qs and I push my buttons use abilities, they do not go off. It's actually, you can unplug the controller of the enemy team to some degree. And also, when you attack targeting cursor, instead of shooting like where you're aiming at, it retargets where you're shooting, right? So they're using these hacks, and they're very blatant, like, there's a point in the game where like my guy just like jittered, and it only jitters like that when the hacks are up, right? And when I target a shot and it goes to another shot, that's the hacks. And when I hit my Q and my Q is not going off, I'm trying to put wards down and they're not dropping. Like that's the ability hacks. I mean, it's one of the ones that it gets you sometimes. It's a hack that's like for people who don't know like hacks and stuff, it's hard to detect. But for me, it's the most easy detectable hack at all because I'm hitting my button, it's not going off. I'm looking down, and hitting the button, it's not going off. I mean, to give you an example of the ability hack, like in full force, one time I was playing Brand versus Yasuo. Okay, I was over by the Grump over this side. Yasuo was really low health. My R was up, his wind wall was down, and he had no health. So if I just hit my R. I'm spamming my R, and I'm hitting R, and my cursor's on top of the guy. I hit my R like 7 times, right? I just keep hitting the R. I might have hit it more than 7 times. I'm like, why is my R not going off? I have it on top of this guy, right? And then as soon as this wind wall came up, my R was able to go out, and I just fired into a wind wall. You know, that was like 3 seconds. Where we're walking back. I'm trying to like just walk back and forth trying to hit R, and he's trying to auto me and do stupid stuff. But my R wouldn't go off. It was on cooldown. I was targeting guy. I was hitting R non-stop, and it wouldn't go off because there's a hack that can deny you using abilities. They can unplug your controller, and they were using that in the last thing. And there's varying degrees of like a ability hack that deny your ability to use a hack. There's various degrees of ability hack that's able to deny your ability to use a hack. Deny your ability, yeah, deny your ability to use abilities, right? Because sometimes it gets you sometimes, right? Another example was I was playing Caitlyn. Okay, this one's even like more damning. You know, I mean, like obviously there's a reason why he didn't want to die and waited for his windfall. He used the hack to avoid death. That's pretty damning in itself. But this one's even more damning. Okay, check it out. I was looking down at my keyboard. Okay, and I was hitting W with Caitlyn, right? You don't have to target anything with Caitlyn with W, and she'll be dropping traps. I'm like, hit W, and this is like for like 3, 4, 5 seconds. I put she wasn't dropping a trap. It was on cooldown. I had plenty of mana. And then like suddenly, as I was walking away, a trap just appeared like over to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking down my keyboard. W, why is my trap not going on? Why is it not going on? Why is it not going on? I said, screw it. I started walking away. Boom, a trap just appears over on the left side of the screen. This is not League of Legends bugs, unless you consider it a bug to not have proper security versus hacks. Because like that's a debatable for like philosophers. You know, like a multi-billion-dollar company like Riot should have hack protection. I'm a very good anti-hacker. I'm a counter-hacker. I've been studying security since BattleNet had win traders in 1999. BattleNet died because people were win trading, and there was no matchmaking. There was no range of matchmaking at all in there. You could just pick a person and play them. So obviously, what people did was, if you can pick the same person you play, you can well, straight up you can just pick a friend, right? And just win versus your friend over and over and over again, right? Manually. You don't have to have any automation. And then boom, you just got like a bunch of elo, and then you have him have a couple friends do okay versus other people, and then you drain you basically vampire their elo away. You can just get free wins versus all your friends, you know, and they have them play versus other people. You get elo back a little bit, and you vampire more, and suddenly it says you're the #1 guy on ladder. I've never done that. I know about it. I know about the potential. It actually took people like a year, 2 years to figure out to even do that in Battle.net. So it's a testament to like gamers' core philosophy to actually not ruin the game that fast in Battle.net, or maybe they weren't smart enough to think about doing that. Either way, Battle.net died in 1999 because of win traders, right? And I said, I told Blizzard, I said, hey, you know what? You should have a range of matchmaking. Okay. I emailed. They talked back to me. The guy called G. Fraser, he liked what I was saying, and he was a cool guy. And there's a couple people at Blizzard liked me back then. I don't think anybody like Blizzard likes me right now. They actually got me banned for just. We'll talk about that later. But I got basically they were gonna hire me at Blizzard. I was gonna get an interview, and then they canceled my interview, and that's something for the we won't discuss here. But there's another thing I did. Okay, so I told him you have to arrange matchmaking to beat this whole thing. We have arranged matchmaking. All the games have arranged matchmaking. It seems like a natural thing. I mean, not arranged matchmaking, but random matchmaking. You know, and that. But I not to say I invented it. Everybody would know that randomly picked from a pool of players or searching. No big deal. That wasn't special. But what was special that I came up with is like said in order to beat map hackers, which were a huge thing in League of Legends back in let's make sure I'm chatting and everything. Test. Yeah, okay. So in order to beat map hackers back in Starcraft days, you had to report people for map hacking. I mean, like it was really hard. Riot had no security. There was not such thing as cybersecurity. They didn't understand how hacks work in games because the multiplayer games were new. So what you got to do is you have to have it so like if someone reports someone for hacking, it takes a screenshot of their game immediately and sends it to Blizzard, right? And then they can like review it. And I said what you have to do is as more and more people report like people, it's like a community-oriented police. I call it. I call it like basically what would be like known as player tribunal in League of Legends. It's the idea that players accuse other players of misdeeds, and then you know the company looks into it, players look into it, and they figure it out. If people were, one person just reports everybody for hacking, got false flags. That guy's vote gets canceled out. But if there's one person that tracks a bunch of people who normally don't vote people for hacking, and they get voted for hacking all the time, then Blizzard could look into those people for hacking, and you know they have the screenshots attached, and they can see basically what happens is they report someone enough times. The customer support merely has to go into the top offenders of people who got reported for hacking, and see a couple of their screenshots show that the hack's there. Boom, they're banned. Right? I emailed Blizzard about this. I said arrange matchmaking and basically what amounts to player tribunal. Okay. Because this is counter hacking stuff. I came up because like win traders were ruining 1999 Battle.net, and they did. Win traders and hackers ruined 1999 Battle.net. I quit playing Starcraft. I thought Starcraft was dead. Didn't know a Korean scene was going on. I was actually better than XDX Gur, the guy who won Korea 3 years in a row. He could not beat me. I was basically Michael Jordan at the time, and he was like a junior high school player. But actually, you know what the funny thing is? There was a point where I said, hey, dude, you're #2 in the world. I mean, like, you actually kind of know some macro and micro. You know the ins and outs. You know how to breathe in, breathe out, and playing the game. You almost have a semblance to know what you're doing. You're basically #2 in the world. And that's proud. He's like, you can't be this good. You must be cheating. And it's like, no one beats me this much. I mean, yeah, of course, no one beats you this much because you're #2 in the world. You never met me. But other people did. You know, Kane the Feared. Ask Kane the Feared. He look at here, right here. He was one of the top players in the world. You know, we played in this is the top 16 players in the world. I think he's the top 5. Kane the Fear was a top 5 StarCraft player in the world, and he understood that I was legit. he said, Jim, you're too good at video games, man. I don't even want to play you again, man. So, like, what happens? I met him in Warcraft 3, right? A lot of people remember Crazy Assassin, King of the Feared, how he went 200 wins and no losses. Well, I want to get King of the Feared on my team because he's a top 5 player on my team, and I knew Crazy Assassin was a top 10 player in the world. So you get, and the way Warcraft 3 works is like as you get more skill, it synergistically gives more skill. So say like I'm a 90% win rate. I think it was a 90% win rate Warcraft 3 player. If you get another 90% win rate Warcraft 3 player on your team, you basically have a 99 win rate. You know, at that point, then you get another one, and it's even like 99.99. You know, we could have basically, me, King the Feared, and Crazy Assassin. If they didn't get bored at the game, we went undefeated forever. We were like that's I mean, like, until, like, you know, obviously the skill level of other people get up to world class too. But our skill would have been jacking up too, so it's hard to say. But we went 200 wins and 0 losses. When I was number 1 in Starcraft, I was number 1 in the world at all races. When number 1 in the world at Warcraft 3, I was number 1 in the world at all races. I actually deliberately chose to pick this is just some stuff. This should give me some credibility. I deliberately chose to go as random because I knew if I was going to play a lot of games and I wanted to grind out the icon as one thing instead of jumping around, that would have to go as random. So I got Deathwing. Like, the first person to get 1,500 matches was not human, it was not orc, it was not undead. It was random. It was me. Okay. So anyway, I know my cybersecurity. I date back. I know I'm a high caliber gamer. I date back to the days of I go back to Target. I play more Target 600 than anybody, and I'm gonna just stop dropping credibility because I can do credibility for days. All I do is play video games, you know. Obviously, I got some achievements if all you do is one thing, you know. So what happens is with this League of Legends thing, these guys who are win trading now, this guy's a win trader right now. Let's get this camera up a little bit. Looking at check the things here. So these guys are win trading. They've been doing it for they've been doing it for, what is that there? It should be just should be 20 at least. They've been doing it for a good year and a half, you know. And like the way things are in today's society, like, this is just waxing. We're gonna wax away maybe why they're doing this. In today's society, no, they don't want influencers, right? Influencers are a threat to politics, you know. They don't want this guy having the word. And I'm just gonna keep this short because it seems like whack if other things I say are true, but everything I'm saying here is true. You can look it up. You can see the stuff's on the Wayback Machine and stuff. So keep this short. They know I'm number 1. I've been the number 1 world video game player of all time in all these other games, and like either they're jealous. Trying to figure out why you hate for so like 1.5 years. You know, why do you hate someone for 1.5 years? Either they're jealous, you know, which is a human thing, or you know, the particular line, they don't want me to even talk. I tell people about Jesus, man. I say love's the way. If you're good and loving to everybody, you live forever, and that's a fact. Okay, people don't get it. You know, you don't have to believe in the spirit world. All you have to know is hate leads to harm. Someone punches someone, they're gonna be mad. Probably want to punch that guy back, and then the friends are gonna be mad. Like thing, just sets the community up in a fire of hate, right? And that's not good. Hate leads to harm. Harm leads to, you know, death and more harm and more hate, and that's a terrible fire to make. But love leads to pleasure, and love's like a fire. It sets the community on fire. Everybody's happy. You know, and then boom, everybody's on fire for happiness. And whenever fire you set your community on, you live in that community. You get burnt with that fire, right? You want to burn people with hate and harm. You're gonna get burnt with hate and harm yourself. Burn people with like love and passion and like pleasure. It burns you. You feel pretty good about it, right? So I tell people not to hate and to love, and love lives on forever, where hate like will die off. And there are people who oppose that message. There are people out there who do not like Jesus. You know, they're like Iranian terrorists. They don't like Jesus. They want to blow stuff up. They want to control the world and conquer and control. You know, they don't like the idea of love. They'll say they're the religion of peace, but I'm sorry, terrorism is not peace. That's like Somalia, Sudan, Ethiopia. Christians have been feeding them, empowering them for 100 years, digging the wells, educating them, and then, you know, Iran gets some money, and ours is our way of the highway, and we got to control you. And it's like, come on, dudes, like, Well, can't you just love and help them like we're helping them? Like, if you're a real religion, you'd be out helping everybody. But it's like either you're for us or you're against us is what they're doing, and that's just tribalism. That's evil. Um, everybody should love each other. If your religion is valid, you go out and help people. You know, that's what you do. You love people, but they're not. Whatever. So anyway, so there are people that oppose like Christ. There are people that don't like the idea of like loving everybody. It's like your religion wants to go out and help people. It's like, well, why would you be opposed to helping people? It's like, I'll come mow your lawn, right? Like, I'll come like pick up sticks in your lawn, or I'll make video games for you. I want to make you happy. I'm out to make the world a better place. I want to make you happy in your job. I walk into a gas station, and if the guy's having a bad day, I talk to him about stuff and how I can strategize about life, and what good doctors are around, and what chiropractors, who you gonna talk to, and you stoke people. You're supposed to make people happy. That's what you're supposed to do in life. So anyway, there are people opposed to Jesus. So like, if people are opposed to like my political ideas that everybody should help each other, and they know that influencers get a better say, well then like keeping me down low elo by like win trading would be something that would be viable to do. Keep that guy's voice lower. Than he doesn't. And to them that makes sense. To me, everywhere I go, I'm just gonna vote people. Okay. So we're gonna reel back. Last game, obviously, those guys were win trading. We'll count down the number of ways how they were win trading. They'll follow it up with how like Player Tribunal from like Battle.net would relevate to that. So the clues. Number one, enemy team. I had issues landing with them. Okay, 95% of lanes, I'm gonna just roll over. I'm not gonna say roll over with every ally, but like I'll be able to deal with it and get advantage, right? Normally, if my ally's doing bad, then my lane can be like compromised a little bit. But I couldn't see as I didn't actually see as doing bad. Something was going on. I don't know what it was, but the enemy team was actually pretty good. And the normals I'm playing right now are about silver. Like silver high bronze, because obviously if people are losing on purpose, they can put faker in the bronze. You can put faker in the bronze real easy. I have 4 people lose on purpose, they just keep feeding. Dude, there's like a guy with like full items at level 15. Not level. At the 15-minute mark. I don't care who you are, and you have two guys. Since you have 2 guys on both sides, one of their team will have like 2 guys with like almost like a full gear. If it's, I'm exaggerating, but you like maxed out gear at level 15 minutes. Faker doesn't have a chance versus those guys. He doesn't. They can engineer it however, make it so that advantage matters, and they keep denying them and then run around. It's game over. Like you can put Faker in bronze, and then the other 2 people that are on the Faker's team can be losing on purpose to the other team that suck. Making their sucky players even have like more items, right? So you can put Faker in bronze. You have 4 people losing on purpose. No big deal. No big deal. So they keep me down in like a low bronze, and I've been diamond before. I can tell the skill level of my enemies. I mean, like that's how I figured out like Crazy Assassin was a good player. I dueled him. I'm like, man, this guy's actually a pretty good dueler, dude. Like there was no like real ranking at the time, but I'm like, this guy's actually good because I've been playing video games since 1980. I know my opponent's skill just by playing against them. You can tell skill. It's like a signature. You know how they work. You know how they operate. So I'm like, we're playing against people who are actually pretty decent. These are not normal bronzes. So that's number one, that their opponents were pretty good. And number 2 is I was like, I think my abilities aren't going off. So like I got this subtle clue, it wasn't a very big clue, that my abilities were going off and there was lag hack. Okay, and I said I think they're lag hacking. And then Ez all of a sudden shines, they're not hacking. I'm like, okay, well, how are you so confident they're not hacking? That's like saying, down the road there is not a red car on the road. Like, well, you don't see down the road. You're just picking a random thing. Why would you say there's not a red car down the road? Like, it's like if someone says like something doesn't exist, that does not exist. That's not true, and there's no way for them to know that. If someone's defending something not existing or existing, and they have no way of knowing if it's there or not, they have skin in the game, right? Loser queue has that. Like Riot has people who are paid shills to defend loser queue like it doesn't exist, right? And they get really passionate about defending loser queue like it doesn't exist. But like no real human being would be all about defending loser queue like it doesn't exist. No real human being would would do that, right? Because hold on, let's get some graphic stuff here. If say like it doesn't matter, it's something that shouldn't matter to you, so you shouldn't be like, you shouldn't be all about defending it. So like when Ezreal defended, they're not hacking. So first off, he had no way of knowing that they're the hack or not. The second reason, he has no reason of defending them, right? This is just basic law and human nature. This is how people get. This is how people go to jail and when they go to court, right? You go to court and you start like saying, well, you know what? There's no way that guy shot that guy. There's no way that guy. You weren't anywhere near it. No, there's no way he could have shot that guy. He not shot that. It was impossible for that guy to shoot someone. Like, you were in like the next county. And we're trying to think if you're an accomplice to this guy, right? How would you know he didn't shoot that guy? I just know he didn't shoot him. You don't know he didn't shoot him. He did not shoot him. He didn't. It's like, okay, well, you've established one thing. Number one, you're a liar. There's no way you can know that. And number two, you like that guy. You're an accomplice. Okay? That's all. Like, if someone really passionately defends something that is impossible, it shows that they're a liar and accomplice. Ezreal isn't a liar and accomplice at this point. He credibly made himself a liar and accomplice when he defended him from hacking. So we started out with the enemy team was not like bronze. There's hacks that were possibly there. Ezreal was defending the other team, liar and accomplice. And then the hacks got worse. Like the hacks like end up being worse. And then like obviously he didn't get killed. He never got any kill shots. He never finished up on the battle. You know what? He did actually. Remember that one battle where he let the enemy team go. Rengar came for a gank, and then Ezreal ran away, and then they let him survive. So Ezreal actually didn't go for a kill. There's a point where he could have got a sure kill. Had him locked down with a W, and Ezreal jumped away instead of like finishing off with me and Rengar. So that's another one that Ezreal did. When Vigo came down, Vigo, whatever you call him, and it was a 3v2, and I pinged him a million times. Vigo, don't go in. And he went in anyway and died 3v1. I'm like, I said not to do that. Why do you not do that? And then, so we're up to like 5 or 6 things now. And then like after our tower got blown up, he kept running down split pushing. Which is reportable on its own. It's the only strategy that is actually reportable in League of Legends. You can't like run like as a squishy up vulnerable really deep and get yourself killed. It's reportable. You can get banned for that alone. He did that like 3 times. So he did not take a kill. He defended the other team for not hacking. He went and ended 1v3. Then it ended like 2 or 3 more times after that. And so like Ezreal like established he was a loser on purpose person. That would also explain why the enemy team was actually hard to fight against, because sometimes these loser on purpose people, they're hard to identify. They end up like not throwing autos in battles and stuff. You know, like you're fighting alongside them and they're not taking kill shots or autos, and you're like, why is this lane so hard? I was doing a 1v3 in that lane. I think I did pretty well for a 1v3 versus hackers that are not at the skill level. And then like so we know Ezreal was a loser on purpose person. But Rengar also was too. I wasn't really paying attention much what Rengar was doing, but he lost all the objectives. And when you lose all the objectives completely, like that's what the lose on purpose people do. They have 2 jungles. They play with 2 jungles. One side will be the one that gets all the objectives. The other one will be a feeder. Pretend like he's doing. Sometimes I think they might run bots on some of these guys. You know. I don't know if everybody's running all these things, but anyway, so. Rengar was a lose on purpose people just for losing all the objectives. And the habit is like, on top of that, remember I called him out. I said, dude, like, you guys are losing on purpose. Ezreal's a liar for like defending. Why could you defend someone hacking? They weren't hacking. That guy. It's like, why you can't know if they're not hacking. I can know if they're hacking. You can run detectors. Like I'm running a detector just by like knowing how the game plays, and it changes the way the game plays. My abilities aren't going off. There's a lag between my inputs. And sometimes my attacking cursor gets retargeted. I don't think I've seen that one, that last part, but like, yeah, they were hacking. So I can tell they're hacking. There's no way to tell they're not hacking. Right? The Ezreal was just defending them because he's on their side, right? So it just shows he's a liar and like a win trader even more, like a loser on purpose person. So so when I called him out, I said, dude, they're hacking. This guy's defending them, not hacking. He's ended a bunch of times, and I said don't end. Like he got like a warning pinged him like a million times. You know, don't go in there, don't go in there, don't go in there. And he goes anyway, dies, boom. And then he goes into like hardcore ends later. I said, okay, so what you're gonna do now is you're probably start winning for a little bit. And they did. They started winning for a little bit, and then after we got Elder, they went and just blew it up. They Ezreal and Rengar, the two people I accused of win trading, they went and just ended Baron. Okay, and then from there it just goes downhill from there, right? So I've identified them. They're win traders. There's no way of arguing about it any other way. They've been doing this for a year and a half. They're crazy, weird haters. So let's just I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna conclude this up by reeling it back to Blizzard. So I emailed talk about win traders. Win traders were bad enough in BattleNet, right? It crushed BattleNet. BattleNet was not around. It ended up dying because no one was playing on it because people were win trading, and people win trading invalidates the ladder. There's no point in the ladder if people have like infinite score 9999 for elo when high elo should be like 1800, 2100, right? So it invalidated their elo, invalidated their ladder when win traders happen. But the thing is, win traders in Starcraft really don't hurt your game, right? Well, win traders in a 1v1 game is not going to affect you. They're going to trade some other game, and you're going to be able to play your games, and you'll be able to beat. People might have 999 score. You'll beat them. Like, dude, you just suck, dude. You're a win trader, you know. But like it still destroyed. It's still 1v1 win trading still destroyed Starcraft. Whereas League of Legends, they ruin your entire game. I'm trying to play a game, and these guys are losing on purpose on my game. They're ruining the game I'm playing in, right? So it's even worse in League of Legends, the win traders. So I emailed them. I told them you have to have player tribunal to like battle. Now I didn't call it player tribunal. I said community oriented policing or something. Where they, people hack and hack reports are put out, and then the people who get hack reported the most, Blizzard looks at their screenshots, look at their gameplay a little bit, and then bingo bango. Once you ban a couple hackers, people stop hacking, and then the community will be like less likely to run hacks and stuff. Because some people think, well, if everybody else is running hacks, I have to run hacks to like counteract that. Nah, you don't have to do that. Just pray. Just pray and act honorably. If everybody else is cheating, still act honorably yourself. You don't have to cheat to compete. Actually, because cheaters always lose. Cheaters never win. If the other people are hacking, just play honorably. Their hacks are going to stunt their ability to get better, so they can't play professionally in a live tournament around people. So don't cheat. Don't ever cheat. God sees everything you do. God knows your heart. Don't cheat. So if player tribunal, I said they should like counter hack they should have ability for other players to report hacks and maybe talk about them and stuff and say what the hell they're doing, and then they can be reviewed later, right? And basically what I emailed Blizzard, where Todd Caldwell worked, and that later became League of Legends, later became Warcraft 3's designer, and then like League of Legends designer. Todd Caldwell, Zillion, Zilius, Reaver Drop guy. I actually took his Reaver Drop, and that's one of the first things that got me really high in Elo. Number one in the world as Protoss is Todd Caldwell. He's a cool guy. He's a friend of my friend. I never actually met Todd Caldwell, but I'm going to reel it back into. They know Player Tribunal. I emailed them about it. We talked about it. We discussed Player Tribunal with Blizzard, and they didn't really use it for that stuff. I guess they put it in Warcraft 3 a little bit for range matchmaking and stuff. But Todd Caldwell took it to heart and put it in League of Legends. There used to be a player tribunal in League of Legends. The reporting system is a small grade of what I was explaining to Blizzard back in 1999, because I wanted win traders to be gone, right? So that said, we have win traders again. They need to fix their game. If they don't fix this game, it's done. And I keep talking about losers queue here. Like, people don't know losers queues are real. Do you guys know losers queues are real? Here, I'll close this out with losers queues are real. Like, I found there's Rod holds a patent on loser queue. Oh, this is some stuff. I'll put this in chat. Oh, I don't have chat, but like, let's see. crystalfighter.com/lol/losers queue if you want to read this type of thing. There's a loser queue. I think it's x.html. And then I think it's x.html. We'll get to this too. X.html. And then let's say here. So they have a patent. So Riot has an actual patent on this. You can search for it on the internet, and it talks about how like can't see it from here. Let's see drawings. Okay, so here it's like it takes reports into account. Let's see. it says in-game data, right? So what happens is it's like rank picks. I'm trying to find one. User profile database. See, look at this. It takes in like if they're reported. It's social network. It's social thing. See feedback. Use feedback. See monitor for feedback. This is their patent. Okay. Social pick. They were gonna make a whole thing called social pick, where like if they're socially like social credit, like it's something. So it happens behavioral based matchmaking. So matchmaking is affected by your behavioral. Right. Calculate player scores. Match players having comparable personality scores. That's Chinese social credit, right? And they apply it to matchmaking. So it's called losers queue. There's more of it if you read about this. It's crystalfighter.com. Crystalfighter.com. That's one of my websites. .x.html. Let's go x.html, and you'll see here. Now I explain an algorithm right here. How behavioral based matching. This is just losers queue, and so, we'll just go through it real fast. There you go, bingo bango. So loser queue exists, but now we have something called like range of match. Oh, I wasn't showing desktop. I think Crystal Fighter. I'll show you /x.html so you can see it. So here's they have a patent on it. It says basically when you report people, you can put them in the losers queue by getting a lot of reports. That's basically it. And you can find the patent right here. It's right here. But just go to crystalfighter.com/x.html. I'll scroll through this real fast, just in case you want to look at these tabs without going to the website themselves. It's just Chinese social credit score. It's communism gone wrong. Well, you're playing a communism game. You're playing a communistic game right now. All right, but anyway, and I'm trying to help fix the game. I guess I don't know if this thing will work. Maybe I'm just raising awareness that like Riot is a company maybe you don't want to buy skins off of or something, because they don't want to fix it. They lie to you that it doesn't exist. The losers queue doesn't exist when they hold a patent on it. They hold a patent on it. So you got a patent on losers queue, and you have win traders. So when you hear people that say League of Legends matchmaking is rigged, it is, and it looks like they don't even want to fix it. It looks like they want to do this. I think what happens is social credit and stuff that they end up just I don't know why they want to do it. It seems I'd rather have a fair game, right? But I don't know. This is long, and I'm just gonna close it out right now. Take care out there. God bless, loves the way, and